Welcome to the Patrick Real Estate Show, where we explore the fascinating world of real estate investing with your host, Patrick Switek. Patrick is a dynamic young entrepreneur and an accomplished real estate investor who's passionate about helping others achieve financial freedom. Each week, we sit down with some of the most inspiring individuals in the real estate industry and delve into their personal journeys, lessons learned, and secrets to their success. Let's dive into this week's episode.
Dustin, welcome to the Patrick Real Estate Show. For the people that don't know Dustin, he works in our space, in the short-term rental space, as a social media manager. He's a social media manager and marketing manager, essentially, for what we do with our own portfolio. We just started working together about a month. It's been fantastic. But I think what's really the thing that I really want to dive into today is talking about how you can leverage social media and drip campaigns and different things with email to be able to get more direct bookings, but also to funnel in a more complete strategy. And I think it's something that you've been talking about on your YouTube videos as well. Complete strategy to try to become a better manager, even to offer this to your clients, to do this for your own properties so that you can make more money on your own properties. And it's one thing that's really interesting, especially for unique properties, is that social media can get you in front of people when otherwise you can't get in front of people. So I'm really excited to dive into all that. But Dustin, without further ado, welcome to the show, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Patrick. It's great to be here. And yeah, good introduction too. That pretty much summarizes a lot of what I've been doing for the last 2 to 3 years now. But and then keep expanding on too, just going deeper into the marketing and every single way to drive more direct bookings, raise awareness, all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. So I definitely think that for everyone listening, what's your background? How did you get into this?
Yeah, so I've been doing marketing for about 10 years now in a lot of different industries. Actually, mostly started in e-commerce and the app industry. And it was really interesting too, because they're very sophisticated industries. They have a lot of complexity when it comes to being data-driven, leveraging consumer psychology. And so this is where I got really hooked on marketing in general and really understanding the potential of what it could bring to a business. And so the one thing I did find, though, is that they were pretty much tapped out as far as any innovation goes. So I wanted to move over to a more up-and-coming industry, which is clearly the vacation rental industry. It's an industry.
Do you have any vacation rentals?
What's that?
Do you have any vacation rentals?
No, I was so close to getting my first cabin about a year ago. And then I ended up just deciding I need to pour everything into the marketing agency, stick with that for now. But that is the dream. My dream is to one day own and build vacation rentals.
Sweet. I'm assuming unique ones at that.
Yes. Yeah.
There you
Unique
go.
for sure, because that's where the industry is going. All the innovation and everything, it's going to adding more experiential stays that really offer a unique experience, and then unique architecture, anything to be able to stand out from the competition, because we all know the competition is rising quite a bit. And that's also where marketing comes in a lot.
Absolutely. So I think the first time, I don't know if I told you this ever, but the first time I met you, aka learned about you, was I just stumbled upon a YouTube video. That's the first inception of understanding what you're doing. I think it was just really about talking to somebody about a unique stay or something of that nature. And I just saw your YouTube channel. I was like, wow, this guy's got it dialed in and how he does YouTube videos. And at first it was more so just inspiration for me to help with my own channel and seeing how I can better serve people and really do that media side. So I thought you were a YouTuber at first, but that quickly evolved, obviously, through Isaac. Shout out to Isaac French. He came on my podcast too, and he mentioned your name and he mentioned what you were working with him on, and I decided to try it out. And here we are, a month and a half. We're still pretty early in engagement, I feel, but we've definitely been seeing some of the infrastructure being built out on the back end, which is exciting. But anyways, I just thought that was really interesting how I came across your stuff.
Yeah, no, it's cool that we're both teaching hosts about different parts of the business too in the industry and how they could level up their game when it comes to co-hosting, property management, or marketing. Yeah,
so let's talk about marketing, right? So what's your strategy really pinpoint, right? So it's like you do marketing, so you could probably do a million different things. And I come from a marketing background too, marketing tech background. You could do a lot of things to market a property, but why do you choose your strategy, and what is your strategy in the current atmosphere that we're in?
Yeah. So the best way to describe our current strategy is realizing that there's more ways to reach guests outside of what we've been doing for the last 10 years or so. Most commonly, everybody gets professional photos. They put up their listing on Airbnb, even Vrbo, Booking.com maybe, and they essentially do that to get in front of people who are already searching for a vacation. So these people, they've decided that they're going to book a vacation or start browsing, and then they go to Airbnb because Airbnb does their own branding, and they start filtering through what they're looking for, dates, prices, amenities, until they compare essentially, or hopefully discover you in the ranking alongside 10, 20, 30, 50 other listings. And they're definitely in a price shopping mentality. It's Airbnb has really created an environment that gets you to rank on price and value of your stay and different things that make it tough for a business to really thrive or excel. And it's also like an environment that doesn't give you a lot of control and confidence over your business because the algorithm changes constantly. And no one wants to be like in a price competition too, like where it's almost like a race to the bottom in every market that becomes more saturated. So what we realized is that people right now are spending an insane amount of time on social media and they're getting most of their travel inspiration there. And so this actually could be one step before people are necessarily going on Airbnb to plan and actually start searching. We can get in front of an even bigger audience of people who are getting close or may even book their next getaway a year from now. And we can get in front of them with video content, which is a lot more enticing, really showcases the experience better than any photos on Airbnb can. And then you can capture their attention, like your ideal target audience, let them like raise awareness that your property exists, it's out there, it has a unique experience. And then from there, you can build relationships with them through community management on social media. You can capture their emails to remarket to them over and over again. You can retarget them with Facebook ads. You can get them to your website, which immediately provides a way more branded experience than any Airbnb listing, which essentially is like a template that every other property has to fall into. And it was created 10 years ago when most of the properties on Airbnb were just condos, suburban homes. That is, okay, here's the rooms, here's the rates, the description. This is not how you want to showcase an experiential stay, resort, or anything unique that has a brand behind it.
Yeah, it's
So,
commodity, right? It was commodity
yeah.
shopping, so it was a race to the bottom,
Mhm.
seeing which one is cheaper than what. So it's like when you have like a condo, you're pretty much just price shopping essentially, more
Yeah.
or less, unless you can figure out a way to create value beyond that. I think a perfect example of this within our own portfolio, we have a property that has a very high minimum and it doesn't show up on the Airbnb algorithm. We
Mhm.
cannot get it in front of people. The only way to get it in front of people is through social media. That's the
Right.
only way. And alternative areas where price elasticity is a lot more, they're not shopping and comparing to different products. It's just this is the
Yeah.
product and this is what we're pushing. And I think that is the goal here. What we're trying to.
Yeah. No, that's the thing too, is like not only are you tapping into a whole nother pool of audience people, it could be the same people who would have searched a month ago, but they already found you on Airbnb or on social media, but it's also a completely different path to purchase. So it's, yeah, it's commodity shopping on Airbnb, comparing you. They usually have 10 other tabs open of all the properties that are potentially going to suit their needs. But, and I've honestly heard this from so many hosts that we do marketing from, when people discover you on social media and it's from a video that really drives a lot of emotional resonance of showcasing the experience that they really want to have, that immediately is different than price shopping on Airbnb. And then the other thing too is they're gonna see your content, they're gonna check out your page. It's gonna be a more branded Instagram page, branded website. So you're already leaving a more memorable impression, but then they're gonna follow you. They're gonna keep seeing your posts over the next few weeks. They're gonna sign up for your email list, see your emails, learn more about the destination, the properties, the brand, what makes you guys unique and special. And all these things drive way more trust, build a more brand driven connection, more loyalty. And so every host tells me is, yeah, the guests that we get booking through Airbnb are like the most amazing guests. They've already built up such an appreciation for the stay. They've been commenting on our last several posts. They've been responding to emails. Like it's just, it is so different than the path of purchase on Airbnb.
Amazing. So you build a connection with the brand and the consumer directly versus going through a third party, and at that point you're just another Airbnb.
Yep.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Obviously, okay, so I know you explained this to me in the beginning as well, is there's multiple parts of the funnel, right? I can't show you visually, but at least the people listening can imagine that there's a funnel at the top, and that's the raising awareness aspect, right?
Yeah.
The idea of getting in front of as many people as possible. That's what we talked about it through the algorithm, Airbnb, or through Instagram and all these algorithms pushing short form content. That's pretty much that front. So I'm curious, what's the next step after that?
Yeah. Yeah. So after social media, which, like you said, it's the best way to raise awareness, like quality awareness too, and really reach a larger, stronger audience. After that, what we realized is posting content of your Airbnb listing on Instagram is not new. There's been actually a lot of hosts with really unique properties doing this for the last 2 to 3 years. And we've actually worked with properties who have come in with 100,000 followers, lots of views. We essentially realized that, yes, you can raise a lot of awareness by posting like viral videos. But when people just see your video come up once and they like it or they comment or something, that is not enough to get them to make a booking. This is a really expensive purchase. It requires a ton of trust, probably more trust than almost any other purchase you'd make, because you're taking your family and friends to a destination, and it takes a lot of time to plan and consider the trip. So nobody can see a reel or a video or post you made and then go all the way through and book on your website or Airbnb listing.
So what's
we
the one
realized,
mistake that a lot of the people that do social media make? I know you mentioned this to us at one point.
no, like linking people straight to your website or even
Airbnb
worse,
listing.
Airbnb listing is, it really, it limits you so much from a marketing standpoint, because again, people are going to be in a browsing state. They just discovered you, so they're going to check it out, but they're just going to check out your Airbnb listing or whatever you have linked, even if it's your website. Take a quick, and we can see this in the Google Analytics data, the bounce rate is going to be so high, right? So that's where the middle of the funnel comes in, where we realize, let's not send them straight to the booking page on their first interaction. Let's give them a smaller micro commitment step that they can take, which is signing up for your email list. This is where instead you want to link a landing page that can capture their email address and still on the thank you page link them to your properties. But now you've got their email address, and that's the one step they can quickly and easily take from browsing on social media. And then once you have the middle or the email address, that's in the middle of the funnel, and you can keep sending them emails over the next couple of weeks that build further trust, warm them up through touch points, give them more information, stay top of mind. Like, this middle of the funnel has been such a strong filler to raising awareness to getting the booking. Yeah, that's one thing I see a lot of hosts doing right now on Airbnb, on Instagram, sorry, missing that opportunity of capturing emails.
Yeah, absolutely. So granted, the next step is obviously they don't trust you right away, and you want to get their email or some other form of communication to establish a relationship. What's the next step after that?
Yeah. So the middle of the funnel, capture their email address. And honestly, the email marketing from sign up, we actually have an automated email flow, and it's really a warming sequence. It's to build trust, and you can set or forget it. You can essentially have 8 to 10 emails over the next couple of weeks that just teach them more about your brand, your business, your properties, FAQ, guest reviews, things that kind of just nurture that relationship. It's not necessarily a strong conversion, because we recognize like the booking time from sign up to booking is on average 18 days. So this is almost 3 weeks that people are entering the email funnel and then engaging with that. And then once they're through that, to get them to convert, this is like the bottom of the funnel. So this is the step 3, convert your warm audience into bookings. And we have 2 main methods for driving this. The first is promotional campaigns, where you essentially leverage this warm audience that you've built up and accumulated and have been nurturing and in building trust with, and you put promotions and call to actions in front of them. So on Instagram, that call to action could be an Instagram story with a reason why it's a good time to book, maybe even a discount if it makes sense. and a clear call to action to book now with a button linking to the booking page. And then on email, that would be an email campaign. So not something that you set and forget, but something where, like for us, like we'll look at the Price Labs dashboard, see what the booking lead time is for all your properties, and then decide which properties makes the most sense to push and promote. And then we'll call that out in an email campaign. And so those are probably the best ways to convert that warm audience that you've been nurturing. And yeah, that's one of our main steps in the bottom of the funnel. But then there also is a second option, and that's retargeting ads. So not only are you building up your email list, nurturing it, and then you can send a campaign out, but on Instagram and Facebook, all under Meta, you can run Facebook ads, which is now Meta ads because it goes to both Instagram and Facebook. And you can have your ads feature your best performing video that you found crushed it on Instagram. And you could put that video in front of everybody who visited your website, who's been on your email list, who shared, liked, commented, and engaged on Facebook or Instagram over the last year. And so this has been one of the biggest and
Isn't
best
that like
ways.
the most like highest ROI thing
Oh,
you can
yeah.
do in marketing is retargeting ads?
Yeah, no, we're literally seeing 9 to 10x ROI consistently month after month from these ads because it's taking that warm audience of people who are showing so much interest and making sure that you get back in front of them with, and that's the great thing about the ad versus the Instagram post, with the book now button and the incentive. So yeah, though that's the bottom of the funnel, like those two options. One's free, like leveraging your warm audience. The other's paid, but with Facebook retargeting ads, we're talking like $5 a day because it's not a huge audience. You're not telling Facebook to go find me all these random people. It's, oh no, I just want to get in front of these people, these website visitors, that kind of thing.
It's amazing. That's
Yeah.
great. And so from there, obviously they book, and then you realize that are the return on ad spend or return on the whole campaign spend. Now I'm curious, you've done this before and you have a few clients that you've done this for. How does that work for somebody that goes through this whole process? Do you have some examples, or as I should say, case studies that you can share with us?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so one example, we've been running Facebook ads for a client called Starlight Haven. They have glamping resorts, so multi-unit sites, two of them in the United States and then two more on the way. One's in Alabama, one's in Arkansas. And yeah, so the Facebook ads is we're essentially looking at the Instagram page, we actually run two different types of Facebook ads too. One's retargeting, which is bottom of funnel, and then one's actually a way to reach new people. So those would be like a new lead campaign. So we go into the Instagram page because they're posting high quality content every other day. We take the reels that are performing the best, and then we put those reels into an ad campaign. One is which go into cold traffic, people who've never heard of you before, to try and introduce them. And the call to action there is to sign up for your email list. And then they go through the same funnel they would as if they saw you on Instagram. And then there's the retargeting ads, which, like I said, goes back in front of the warm audience. And between those two campaigns, for the first month we ran it, I think it was like 7x ROAS, so return on ad spend.
Wow.
And then every single month after that for the last 9 months has been 9x ROI. So you spend $1,000 on Facebook ads and you make 9,000.
Wow, that's crazy. And with that strategy, how often do you post on Instagram, for example, with the videos, and how does that all look, top of the funnel?
Yeah, so on the organic side on Instagram, we're posting every other day with a content team. And yeah, so that's like basically the organic side. Cool thing too, actually, is when you look at the data in Meta Business Suite, one thing people have sometimes speculated is if you show Facebook you're willing to pay for reach, are they going to throttle your Instagram organic side and nudge you towards spending even more money? What we see is actually the opposite. Like Facebook and Instagram, they make hundreds of billions like a year on ad spend, and there's only like 1% of their business pages that are actually spending money. And when you're one of those people, they want to make your lives like really good. So yeah, the second we turned on paid ads, our organic side doubled to tripled.
Wow.
Which was an amazing bonus that it's hard to even quantify the impact of that. But yeah, so that was great to see. But yeah, no, we post every other day on Instagram. And then the Facebook ads, I think we're running at $20 to $30 a day. Yeah, every single day. So spending almost $1,000, I would say.
Wow.
Yeah.
And let's talk about the organic stuff a little bit more. How do you facilitate organic content? How do you get all that content? What's your strategy around that?
Yeah. So the main way we've been able to gather footage, so like video footage, photos, because the quality of the content that you use for social media is so incredibly important. And the way I like to explain it to is it's not, yeah, you can make incredible reels by looking at what's viral and trying to recreate that with your own video footage. But the quality of the footage itself is so important. So the way we gather this is we collaborate with talented content creators, people who love to travel, love to showcase the experience of what it looks like when they stay at a place. And yeah, the more artistic and creative and talented they are, the better footage we're going to get and the better reels that we can make from that raw footage. So
Yeah,
we'll set up a collaboration, like a free stay collab, get the deliverables to be like 20 to 30 video clips, 20 to 30 photos, and then we'll take that, organize it in a Google Drive, and then repurpose it into reels that we post every other day.
yeah. So with that, those videos, what are you looking for in an influencer? Because I think this is a big topic that comes up. Just
Mhm.
going back to basics. Um, there's a lot of different things that people look for. Some people look for followers, some people look for specific kinds of followers with influence. Some people just look at the content itself. Like I'm curious how you curate which influencers to work with.
Yeah, yeah. What we found the most success in is I know it's important to make the distinction too between creators and influencers. Content creators might not have a huge following or influence over that following, but they're really talented. And you look at their profile and they just have a wall of really quality content. It doesn't even have to be like vacation rental content, it could just be travel content. And as long as they take like really high quality footage from their drone and yeah, like gimbal, professional shot, real estate videography, then we know that they're going to be able to capture high quality content and give that to us for us to use. And I care way more about working with a content creator who has 1,000 followers and no influence whatsoever, but is really good at capturing content. And then like getting that from them so that we can use that for years to make organic posts and then even repurpose that into Facebook ads versus an influencer who might have 100,000 followers and the value that they feel they bring to the table is not content that is going to be amazing and high quality. It's going to be really average quality iPhone, mostly featuring themselves. And they're not really actually in the mindset of delivering that content to you and giving you 30 clips that you can use over and over again. They want to just do one like real collab, which they'll post on their page, invite you as a collaborator, and get a free stay and then often money on top of that to the tune of $2,000 to $3,000. And the problem with that is one, you can't track any ROI from that directly. Like it's impossible to, other than just looking at your bookings coming in over the next couple of weeks. And that one post, sure, it might get 100,000 views, but that's just one quick spike in discovery without really, yeah, anything coming to that. And yeah, so we've seen very mixed to poor results from collaborating with influencers. A lot of money can be spent with very often not coming back in. But with content creators, you get that for life. You can leverage it to post organically. And then, best of all, is like the value that an influencer can bring is expanding your reach. So you're in theory just tapping into their audience to reach more people. But I would rather pay Facebook to put my best performing videos from a talented content creator in front of my exact target audience. I could upload a list of everyone who's booked in the past year, tell Facebook, this is my perfect audience, find me more people like this, and then spend a fraction of the money you'd spend on an influencer for Facebook to put your videos in front of these people over and over again with a book now button. So it really doesn't even compare the level of performance, ROI, tracking, and then you can do it consistently every single day every single month, whereas like influencer collabs, you have to just line it up over and over again, schedule them a couple of months out. Yeah.
I
So
agree. And with that, okay, let's even talk about, because that's such a super distinctive thing, right? Content creators versus influencers. I think a lot of times when you talk about this world, like social media, people always go to influencers, right?
yeah.
Let's tap into that audience. And you explain it so perfectly on how you're really just tapping into their audience and not really, can't drive ROI versus something that is created that's beautiful that you can repurpose multiple times to create
Hmm.
multiple videos. It's worth it. Now, let's talk about, even before even diving into social media, this is like a common question, I'm sure. I mean, I get a lot, is can every house be on social media? And can every house generate social media bookings?
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
Yeah, that's a hot topic.
Yeah.
I've been looking at it extensively because we want to be able to work with as many hosts as possible to do marketing. And yeah, there is a spectrum of who is going to see the best results from social media marketing. And obviously, the more unique of a property design that you have, or the more of a really strong experience that your property is packaged up to deliver on, the more you can capture those two things in a video. So it's really, the question is like, is how good is your property at being showcased through video? And if it's unique, it's going to stop people from scrolling. It's going to capture their attention and be interesting. But if it's not unique, but it really delivers on a core experience that people want, for example, like a nature retreat, and maybe the cabin is not the most unique thing in the world, but the video, like you can capture a really strong video of what it's like to be secluded in nature, birds chirping, the caption is like escaping the city, getting that time away. So that's like more not capturing their attention, but emotionally resonating with them. And then if you can do both, then you're crushing it. But yeah, so you have to have a unique style property for the most part, you'll get the best results, or have a really strong experience that your property delivers on. And then the less of those two things that you have, the less results you're going to get from this marketing. So a condo really struggles to be unique and stand out from a design
Mm-hmm.
perspective. And the experience is also tough to capture in marketing. You might argue, oh, the downtown experience is the experience, and can't you get the content creator walk into all the major attractions? And we've tried it, and it just still does not stand out on social media like a lodge or a Joshua Tree National Park escape. And so, yeah, there's a spectrum. The more unique, the more experience driven, the better the performance. But I've come across some really surprising examples of a cabin that just looks so generic and old and run down and rustic, but yet they found that there's still an audience for that. So you'd be surprised, like you don't have to have a spectacle to get results. You just have to know, okay, there is an audience for what I have to offer. As long as I create content that gets in front of that audience and speaks to them, then you can make it work.
Wow. That's great. That's a great way that you dissected it with the emotional pull, but also the unique. What was that? Sorry, the other word that you used?
Unique
I'm blanking
design,
on
I
it.
would say.
Like unique design. So unique
Yeah.
design, emotion. So if you compare the two, then you got the shocking aspect of things, the differentiation of what you think a stage should look like, and then you
Yeah.
have the emotional pull of the area environment around it. That's awesome. I've also seen an average home, but has one specific unique feature that like does all their videos are about that one
Yeah.
feature and it crushes as well. So
Yeah.
I've seen that work. Curious. Okay, so let's talk about the people on social media that are just on social media and put, like Instagram, for example, make an Instagram page for their home and
Mhm.
they just put photos up of their home or like of their listing. What do you think about that? Does that help
Yeah.
drive bookings at all?
No. Yeah. So I would say the way to make social media work at the very core of social media is you have to create high quality content that people want to engage with. High quality content means, for the most part, either incredible photos, so like really artistic content creator, talented photography, and you can get away with that. Anything generic just does not stand out on social media. And then videos are always going to trump photos every day of the week. So, yeah, it's if you can create that high quality content and then again If people want to like it, comment it, tag their friends, share it, that's what Instagram and Facebook wants to see. So at the end of the day, that's what you want to be able to get people to do from your content. And a generic photo that, is just an average photo on Airbnb is not going to do that. There's 100 million posts going out on Instagram and Facebook every single day. And the top 1% of quality content is disproportionately going to see the vast majority of the reach. And so whenever I rank the quality of the content, the results you're going to get, like you might say from a level from 1 to 10, you might see quality like 6 to 7 content and be like, it's actually pretty decent. Not going to get any reach whatsoever. You can see quality 8 to 9. Wow, this is actually good footage. This is good video. This was taken pretty well. This is good. You're going to see average to below average results. But that 10 out of 10 content, video footage, reels, like the 10 out of 10 will get all of the reach. So it is so
It's
just
all about
it's
quality.
exponential.
So it's all about quality. It's not about quantity. Like for example, like going out and taking an iPhone and just like doing 3 to 5 second, that doesn't work.
Yeah. No,
You
it's just not going to be good enough to elicit an emotional response and stand out on social media. There's just too much content out there for anything average or mediocre to perform. That's why, from like a video footage standpoint, it's really the content creators who have dedicated their lives and it's their passion to find those angles that just showcase the property in such a unique, inspiring way where they're showing the hot tub, but it's not just the hot tub, it's the hot tub in the very early hours of the morning with the sun peeking over the rock cliffs, and it just looks incredible. This is what gets people to stop scrolling and trigger that emotional response, share it to their friend, and tell them, like, when are we going to go here?
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's tough. You're gonna have to find like the best of the best creators. Now, with that, do you have to pay those creators to show up, or can you do it in exchange of for a stay? Like, how does that usually work?
It depends. I would say in the realm of marketing, the number one investment you can make into your business is paying for high quality video footage. If it was my business, say I had my dream of several unique properties, I would, without hesitation, go to the top 3 to 4 like best content creators in the Airbnb space in the industry, which we all know who they are. Like Dirt and Glass is an incredible example. Alex Morales, Levi Kelly. You can see their clips, and they've actually grown to the point where they have influence as well. But at the core, what they do is just really high quality footage. They do cost a decent amount. Like they deliver insane high quality, and they charge anywhere from 3 to 4 to sometimes even $5,000 to shoot a property. And you might
Damn.
think, whoa, especially if there's like its own influence attached to that, is it really worth paying that? Yes, it 100% is. And the reason is, say you just pay a local real estate videographer to capture some average, they're professional, but it's not enticing. There's no people in the footage. And you spend $500. You might think, oh, this is saving me thousands of dollars. But the missed opportunity of leveraging that high, like that $3,000 footage across social media every single day for months on end, like the ROI from that, we have accounts that are making $20,000, $30,000 a month in direct bookings from that social media marketing. And their results are coming because they got the 10 out of 10 high quality video footage. And then you save that money, you spend $500 and you get a tiny fraction of the results. So
So,
yeah,
so
it's worth it.
let's talk about like the one stay, right? 20 to 30 pieces of video content.
Yeah.
How many reels can you make from that?
It depends on what you want to do. There's some hosts that feel that it can get repetitive if you take the same 20 clips and use it over and over again. But realistically, if it works, I would do it. Like we find,
Yeah.
for example, that out of those 20, like I would rather, it's not just 20 video clips, but 20 amazing, like winning video clips. And if 5 of those clips just make for incredible intros, so they're great at capturing attention, I would use only 5 of those clips for every intro. And I would just repeat the formula over and over again. because it's going to surprise you how many times it goes out to new people as opposed to just your existing followers. And it's even the
Especially
people
with
who
this
followed you.
algorithm now, right? With this algorithm about pushing to new audiences,
Yeah.
that was better time than ever for a small creator to reach an insane amount of people.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's you really have to lead with your best foot forward. And yeah, with just 20 high quality clips, you can turn that into every like reel might have 5 to 6 clips in it at different sequences, like different orders, different songs, different captions. And you can post every other day with those 20 clips for years. It's
Mm.
only if you decided, oh, maybe I want some winter footage for some seasonality, or I just want more content, different styles, then you can expand on that. But yeah, one content creator with 20 video clips could market your business for the next 10 years if you really wanted.
Wow. That's crazy. So that's why you would be willing to pay 8,000 if you can use that for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
At that point, it makes sense. Now, let's talk about the metrics and like not every clip that goes out, because I've definitely seen a lot from, I think you started following some of the other accounts through our accounts. So I'm
Yeah.
seeing some of the other stuff you're making. Curious on that front. Some of those don't pop off. Some of them don't. They have incredible footage, a great hook. They have the full 9 yards of everything packaged together, but it doesn't pop off. Like, what's
Mhm.
the reasoning behind why something works versus something doesn't? Curious on what format of the videos like has been working really well for you, like that kind of
Yeah.
front. Yeah, without
Yeah.
giving away all your secrets, just idea of what.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't mind even sharing anything. Yeah, I would say there's kind of going back to, okay, what do you need to do on social media to see success? Creating high quality content and doing it consistently is definitely the first step. Like it's the very core of it. But there's
Yeah.
one other factor that is a little bit outside of our control, and it's reach. Reach is the term for whether Instagram decides to push your post out to more people. And a brand new account that has 100 followers is going to have a very low reach. So you can create in theory, the greatest reel ever, like perfect, like incredible, insane property. And yeah, there's a chance it'll go viral, but there's a decent chance that you'll post content like that for months and see very low reach. But Instagram, they're going to look at if they send it out to 1,000 people, how many of those people are engaging with it. And if it's good and they see that consistently over time, then they're going to slowly improve your reach and push your content out to more and more people. So some element of it is just consistency, sticking with it, and knowing that it's going to get better and better. And it is exponential too. So the longer you stick with it, it really snowballs. And yeah, so that's definitely a big part of it. But an important thing to note as well is a lot of people have all thought that you need to have the virality in order to see success from like a bottom line perspective. And we haven't seen that at all. Like we have so many accounts that from the surface, like you look at them like, oh, they only have 2,000 followers, or we have an account with 500 followers and 100 email list subscribers, and they make 30K a month in direct bookings. So 170K in the last 7 months.
Oh,
Um,
wow. So there's
all through
multiple
social media.
metrics, more than you would just see at the front.
Exactly. So on
Yeah.
the surface, you're like, oh, this is just such a small Instagram page. There's
Yeah.
no way they're seeing anything coming in yet. Maybe if they stick at it for a year, they'll get there. But actually, the video is going out and they get like 1,000 views per video or less. That's still reaching your ideal target audience if you create the right content. And those people are still signing up for the email list, seeing the emails, seeing the promotions, seeing the retargeting ads. And yeah, so like when you have that marketing funnel strategy, that really systematically allows you to get back in front of your ideal target audience over and over again, you can drive a lot in direct bookings without having 10,000 followers or averaging 50,000 views per reel. So, yeah, the virality, it just could mean that you're going out to more people, but it's people in different countries who just think your cabin looks cool.
Got it. And that, yeah, and then that doesn't serve you. Like somebody from, I don't know,
Yeah.
Pakistan is just, oh, I'm never going to travel to California. Or maybe I will, but I'll forget about it at that point, potentially.
Yeah.
So I totally get it. So I'm curious. So obviously making the video, what allows a video to go viral?
Yeah. So virality, like if you can crack the code to go viral every time, then you're essentially a multimillionaire. Because it doesn't matter what you do, you're going to have people like buy the hundreds of thousands to view it. Virality is still a black box in a sense that like you don't know. All we know is that if we put the right ingredients into that box and we do it consistently, at some point or another, it's going to spit out a viral video. So those core ingredients are a really strong hook, a video that has an emotional meaning or resonance behind it, a call to action for them to engage in a certain way. Like shares are without a doubt the best call to action and engagement that you can get on a video because Instagram loves it the most. It's the most social thing you could do. And it's also best for vacation rentals because it gets the conversation started on potentially planning that trip. Doing that using high quality content, making the video make sense so that the first 2 seconds they're like, oh, I know what I'm looking at. This is a cabin in the woods that I could potentially stay at. So, which is what we call like an establishing shot. But yeah, so there's all these ingredients. And if you put them together, really check all the boxes off and you do it consistently, eventually the numbers do come. Eventually Instagram sees you create good content and yeah.
Yeah, have you seen a video pops off the first time you put it up? Like you work with an account and just like the first video just pops. Have you seen that?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
no, for sure. Yeah, an account train stays, which I think would have been averaging like a couple hundred to maybe 1 to 2,000 videos, got 40,000 the first time we posted, which it was what I might call semi-viral, nothing crazy.
Yep. No, it makes sense. Viral, what's the definition of viral? I think viral is if you can get more reach than you have followers, then that's a viral clip. That's
Right.
even though it's mini viral, like massive virality is different, but
Yeah.
that's what I think is a good
No,
video.
exactly. It does mean different things for different accounts. I would say it's just like an outlier to whatever you've been averaging. So if you average 1,000 views per video and you get 40,000, then something went well. But then again, we have accounts with hundreds of thousands of followers and 100,000 views is nothing. That's what they get every single video. And so for them, it's the 5 million that is viral.
Yeah. So I'm curious, like for our account, we have 14,000, I think, followers. Does that give us a better chance to go viral with our videos?
Yeah, so that's the Instagram reach kind of metric. So you've shown Instagram that with your existing followers, the engagement that you got in the past, like you're credible enough that if you post a really good video and it looks promising, they'll have the confidence to push that out to a larger audience. So yeah, you do have that credibility with Instagram. And so you're more likely that your ingredients that you put in consistently are going to spit out promising results.
Amazing. That's good to know. I'm happy. I'm excited to get some videos up.
Yeah,
I already know that
us too.
I think we posted just a swipe through carousel and already went pretty big comparatively. And I'm like, wow, imagine what would happen with the video. I think that's exciting. I'm sure, Dustin, you're probably excited to just really dig into. I know you're building the fundamentals right now, but
Yeah.
I think that stuff would be really exciting for you.
Oh no, for sure. Like I love meeting with the team like every day and just looking at what we're doing and seeing what opportunities there are and just adding in that strategy element of what are all the different ways we could showcase this? What is the inspiration we can pull from other accounts and not just swing randomly, but make educated guesses on what we think is going to perform the best. Yeah.
That's awesome. And so last three questions, I want to just wrap this up and I'll have a special question just for you. But first one is what educational resource, book, or whatever has been instrumental to your career or what you've built?
That's a good one. A little bit unrelated, but there's a book, How to Win Friends and Influence People.
I love that book.
Yeah, it's obviously more on like social dynamics, but I feel like there was so many lessons in there that I've taken with me in different parts of the business, and then it really can have an impact on like your consumer psychology. Understanding like what drives people at the end of the day. Business is solving problems, creating solutions, and meeting needs. So like having an understanding of how people think and what motivates people is a really powerful resource.
I love that. Special question for you.
Okay.
If you had your own property, you can do whatever you want and you have to create it you have all the money in the world. You can make this unique stay. What unique stay would you make and what videos would you create for that unique stay that would make it go viral?
Okay. Yeah. So when I stare at thousands of vacation rentals across Airbnb and Instagram every single day, And it's been interesting from a marketing perspective to see what design and experience drives the best results. And so, based on what I've seen, I would personally do something in the cabin niche with the kind of like nature retreat experience, the secluded escape from the city, have that kind of peaceful weekend getaway is just something that is so easy to do from any city. Every city has that big urban environment that people want to get an escape from. So it's so easy to just nail that with a secluded cabin. And I would probably do a more modern design, so like a Scandinavian design, orange cedar wood, black sheathing, like roof, because I've seen so many styles of that just work so well. And then as far as the experience goes, what I've been seeing, like it's taken off in popularity in Canada, but also in the United States as well, is the hot and cold plunge. So it's like the hydrotherapy thermal cycle experience, which a lot of people in Canada, they'll go to it's called like a Scandinavian spa for this. And they'll do hot and cold cycle, maybe some sauna, like outdoor shower, that kind of stuff. And you leave it feeling like you've had a whole bunch of spa treatments. And so to package that in with a secluded cabin experience where you have it to yourselves and you can just do that during your stay and unwind.
Couples retreat?
Yeah, couples retreat. Yeah. Just because again, like mass appeal, like you can reach the most people and it's very spontaneous. So it performs incredibly well with Facebook ads because it doesn't take a large party to plan. Yeah. So that's probably what I would design. Modern Scandinavian cabin,
Cool.
Nordic spa like experience. Yeah.
Sweet. And what does the future look like for you, Dustin? What are you excited about?
So we're continuing to expand the marketing agency. We want to help as many hosts as possible grow their brand outside of Airbnb and drive more direct bookings through this social media funnel. So that's definitely our main priority. At the same time, we really want to push the movement of creating your own brand and growing your business independently. And Hidden Gem brand behind our company, we're trying to turn that into essentially a media company that features all the top unique brands that are growing their business that way, tell their story, inspire more hosts to do the same, and then leverage that audience and brand to push even more people to book direct, discover more of these properties on social media.
Cool.
Yeah.
And
the
for
end
people
goal
that...
is to build.
Sorry, what did you say?
And then the final goal is to build the properties.
There you go.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, for the people that are listening and that want to get in touch with you and learn more, how can they reach you?
Yeah. So like Patrick said, I have a YouTube channel where I've been teaching a bit of the fundamentals of marketing your vacation rental business. But if you're curious of getting on a call with me, learning more about what we do to help hosts grow their business, you can visit our website, Hidden Gem Media. So Hidden Gem, one word, and then media, where you can fill an application, get on a quick discovery call with me, and we can talk about what you're doing with your business, what your goals are, and what opportunities there are to succeed.
That's awesome. And if you found out about Dustin through this podcast, drop a little mention there. Just say Patrick Real Estate Show. That'd be awesome. I'd love for all the listeners here. They've been honestly truly incredible in taking advantage and really pursuing these opportunities that are in front of us, which social media is a big one. You guys are audience members for some reason. If you guys are listening, the people that hop on the podcast have been super happy with how awesome and authentic you guys have been, and working with you guys has always been a pleasure. I've never heard of anything that was negative. Thank you guys. You guys are just always put in a good word and not making me look bad in the sense that you guys are just evil people. You guys are all truly awesome. And I do think that the vibe attracts the tribes. Appreciate you guys so much. And if you guys do want to pursue something like that, Dustin's there. But without further ado, I'll keep you guys posted on how the social media stuff happens. You can follow my page too, the co-host company, to see what's being created and how that all comes together. But Dustin, thanks for hopping on the show, and I'll talk to you later.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me.
And that's a wrap. Thank you for listening to the Patrick Real Estate Show. If you found this episode helpful, please give us a follow and leave us a 5-star review. Your support truly means a lot. And connect with Patrick in the show notes below. Until next time.